Hi everyone, and welcome to the Dodo Bird Nerd. It's me, the Dodo Bird Nerd, and this is going to be the first LEGO video of my new schedule, which, if you aren't already familiar with it, is a Magic the Gathering video the first week, followed by a LEGO video the second week, a Pokemon video the third week, and some sort of creative video, more likely than not a drawing video, the fourth week, and then the cycle repeats itself. These videos will be coming out at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. And since the Magic the Gathering video was last week, that means this week is the LEGO video. And so basically, briefly, it's going to be going over what a Dodo Bird would look like as a LEGO piece. I'll go into more detail on what that's going to be after the intro, but briefly I just want to say that the image credit for this Dodo Bird image I'm going to be using throughout the video is in the description down below. So, without any further ado, let's roll the intro and let's get started. So basically what this series is going to be, because hopefully this will indeed be a series of multiple videos, I'm going to be discussing an extinct animal that hasn't seen a LEGO piece yet, in this case the Dodo Bird, and basically saying like what size the piece would have to be in order for it to be accurate to real life, what LEGO colors they would likely use to make the piece, and where that piece has the most likely chance of occurring in a LEGO set. And this week, because it's my favorite extinct animal, we're going to be talking about the Dodo Bird. So for starters, size. Dodo Birds were about 1 meter in height, about 3'3". And so any information about the Dodo Bird that I'm getting, again, I'll cite in the description. So it's about 3'3", which according to a standard minifigure scale, where a minifigure is about equal to 6 feet. Now obviously human characters are of different heights and most of them are under 6 feet. It's just generally what I've seen to be a commonly used metric for measuring minifigures. So in order for that to work, a Dodo Bird would have to be about 2 bricks in height, maybe 2 bricks in a plate, but like I said, about 2 bricks in height. Now, the next thing is what color the piece is. So I'm going to use full advantage of dual molding for this because it makes sense to use. So the main body and all that would be the light bluish gray color, as that is the closest to get to the gray color of a dodo. While some depictions have them being blue or brown, the gray is, I guess, the one, at least for the image I'm using here, is what they use, so I thought I would stick with it. It's also what I use for, my logo. And so then for printing on that main body, we would see a tan printing for the face, maybe a black tip beak like I use, though I guess it could also be some sort of brown color, though I've listed black here as I think that would be what they would more likely than not go with. And it's what I use for my logo, so I'm a bit biased in that. And then white printing for the wingtips and the tail. Now they could, in theory, dual mold the tail, though I don't know if they would just print it. I think they would just print it instead of dual molding it. As for the legs, I think those would actually be dual molded on, because you'd have to print for the toes, likely in black, and it would just make it easier, less chance of it looking a bit awkward with the 2 layers of printing. It'd just be easier if they dual molded either a yellow or a tan color for the legs, and then did black printing on top of that. So now, where would this piece even, exist? And now I think there's a couple potential opportunities. The first thing would be in a museum set, as this picture I'm using is from a museum, and stuffed Dodo Birds they're actually quite rare in museums. I think there's only a couple that actually have an authentically stuffed Dodo Bird that isn't just a model. And so a museum set is a possibility, however, I would rank that lower. Secondly, is some sort of new theme with some sort of extinct animal basis could, in theory, have a Dodo Bird piece. Now I think there's a pretty good chance of this, however, it would require the right theme to come out at the right time. The third thing that I think has a chance for this is a zoo set. Now, while obviously you're not going to find a Dodo Bird in a zoo nowadays, you could find some animatronics or models of them throughout a zoo as like a reference to extinct animals of the past. While this is mainly done with dinosaur areas, I could see LEGO doing this with just generic extinct animals, specifically in this case, the Dodo Bird. And finally, and you're going to hear me say this a lot throughout the series, make it an accessory for a minifigure series. The minifigure series are an opportunity for LEGO to introduce just random and wild pieces that they wouldn't be able to anywhere else. And so I think this has a chance of introducing a Dodo Bird piece, again, if the minifigure fit. Now, this would have to be probably some sort of extinct animal researcher, or maybe like a 17th century explorer type, but I don't know if they'd want to put it with the thing that indirectly / directly, because some of it was from invasive, some of it was from hunting, but it was mainly from invasive, that caused the dodo bird's extinction. I think that'd be a little bit on the awkward side. So I think putting it with some sort of researcher would be the best way to do it. So what do you think of my thoughts on how they could make a LEGO Dodo Bird piece? Let me know in the comments down below. What extinct animals do you want to see have a LEGO piece? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!